Welcome to the React Data Grid component tutorial. In this video, I'll show you how to enable editing, different cell editing types, and customize the cell edit template. You will also see the different editing modes in the data grid. First, I'll open my existing React application, where I have already added the basic code to render the data grid component. If you want to learn how to get started with the React Data Grid, check out the video linked in the card or description. I run the application using the npm rundev command. And the React Data Grid component renders. Now, I will show you how to enable editing. I import the edit module from the Syncfusion EJ2 React Grids package and inject it into the grid component. Then, create a constant edit options and set the allow editing property to true. I assign this constant to the grid using the edit settings property. Next, I need to define the primary key column, since the editing functionality requires a unique identifier for each row. I set the isPrimaryKey property to true on the order ID column. This ensures that the grid correctly identifies which row to update or delete during editing. Now, the grid is enabled for editing, and any row can be double-clicked to edit it. Next, I will show you how to enable the toolbar with Add and Edit options. I import the toolbar module from the Syncfusion EJ2 React Grids package and inject it into the grid component. Then, create a toolbar options constant and add toolbar items, such as add, edit, delete, update, and cancel. Assign this constant to the toolbar property and enable allow adding and allow deleting properties in the edit options. Now the grid is enabled with edit options in the toolbar. You can add a new record with the Add button, edit a record with the Edit button, and delete a record using the Delete button. Next, let's move on to enabling data validation for grid columns. Validation ensures that the values entered by the user meet specific rules before the record is saved. Here, to add validation for the customer ID column, I define a constant named customer ID rules, set the required property to true, and set the minimum length property to 3. Then, assign this constant to the validation rules property of the customer ID column. Now, when I edit data and try to save it with fewer than 3 characters, or without entering a customer ID, the grid displays an error message and prevents the record from being saved. When I edit a record in the grid, notice that only text boxes are enabled for all the cells, even cells with numeric values. Next, I will show you how to display the appropriate controls for each column by using different cell edit types. By default, the grid includes several cell edit types, such as numeric textbox, textbox, drop-down list, checkbox, date picker, and date time picker. You can also add your own component to the cell edit type. You can change the cell edit type using the edit type property of each column directive. I set the freight column to numeric edit, order date to date picker edit, and ship name to drop-down edit. See, when editing the grid, you will get the numeric text box for freight, date picker for order date, and drop-down list for ship name. Next, to add custom components to the cell edit option, I will use a Masked TextBox in the postal code column. As the Masked TextBox component is present in the Syncfusion EJ2 React Inputs package, I install it using the npm install @syncfusion/ EJ2 React Inputs --save command. Now the package is installed successfully. I import the Masked TextBox component. Create a function and a template. And return the Masked TextBox with the value as args.ship postal code, name as postal code, and ID as ship postal code. Then, set the mask property with the appropriate value. Here, 0 represents the numeric digit. To know more about the Masked TextBox, visit our documentation page. I add a column directive with the required properties for the ship postal code column, and assign this function to the edit template property. Now, when I edit the postal code cell, you will see the Masked TextBox displayed. Next, let me show you the different editing modes in the grid component. The default mode is normal, which edits the value of the selected row inline. Batch mode edits rows in a batch. You can enable this by setting the mode property to batch in Edit Options. Now, I can edit multiple records at once and update those records in a single update. The dialog mode is used to edit records using a built-in dialog. This can be set in the Edit Options mode property. I am removing the Update and Cancel toolbar items, as the dialog will have the Save and Cancel buttons by default. So, when editing a record, the dialog will pop up for editing. Let's wrap up this video. In this video, I have shown you how to enable the Syncfusion React Data Grid's editing feature, including its toolbar options, different cell edit types, and how to add a custom cell edit template. I've also shown you the different editing modes. If you want to try out the example used in this video, download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also shared a link to learn how to obtain a free license key to use our React components through our community license if you are eligible. Thanks for watching this video. If you find this video helpful, like and subscribe to our channel.